Greetings, this is Janan Derso. In today's Healy Tips, we're going to talk about using the coach analysis with a friend. The basis of quantum entanglement is all mental and physical processes come together and are stored in the information field. The Healy is able to translate the information field. So I preface to my friend that you do not need to be in the same location as me for this transformation to happen. How I do locate you is your photo, birthday, place, and your name. These are the big factors that act as an anchor in our session. The other important part is to have a very strong, clear intention to connect with the information field. So I ask them to have as little distractions as possible. This includes other people, screens, etc., because that does affect the noise factor. For myself, I will need to be holding the Healy on or near me. My intention needs to be sharp. I also don't repeat scans immediately. And I make sure that I've had enough water. I'm grounded. I wash my wrists with cold water to break energetic connections, and I smudge or spray my aura. I'm assuming that you already understand how to add a client. If not, you can go watch previous videos where I talk about that and only record the vibration if they're present. Choosing the focus is an extremely important part because this is what's going to make the information make sense. The specificity of the focus is the quality of the answers. I teach a whole lot about goal setting, so if you need more information here, feel free to check out other options around positive present tense statements, but this part is extremely important. From here, we choose two categories. This is going to focus their alignment with the topics and then subcategories. So let's walk through that part in this video. Here's a list of all the categories. To be honest, if someone's curious about Healy and they want to check it out, I choose self-worth and career to see if Healy is a good fit for their health or their business, but mostly if it's a business thing. So you can see on your list of databases, you want to pop in the 0 next to career, make that circle blue. And when you click on it, you'll go into the subcategory. So that's the blue arrow on the right-hand side. And then it will allow you to check numbers in these subcategories. So what I do is the first one has 146. That's the second biggest. Talent is the biggest, 182. So I choose 3 from the biggest subcategory, 2 from the second biggest, and 1 from the smallest. So it's 38 on this one. And then after I do that, I click the left arrow on the top of the screen, not the check mark, because that will think that you're done. And then I go into self-worth, and I pick those self-categories. It's actually the same order, 2, 1, 3, but you click on that gray button or white button and you turn it to be a blue check mark. Pop in your numbers. So again, I organize them in the largest field is 119 for self-acceptance. So I pop in a 3. Second largest is 60, basics of self-esteem. I pop in a 2. And the smallest field is 33, parameters for happiness. And I put in a 1. And then you click that left top arrow again. And then it will show you exactly what you've chosen. And you see your statement. And then you go ahead and click the done check mark up here in order to get your analysis. And then you can go ahead and analyze. I hold their focus and often say it out loud and copy it and have them say it out loud with me or with themselves in their head. And both of us take a deep breath, gather our energy, and focus on this intention. So now to interpret the information. I don't send it to them yet. First, I focus on resorting the information. I like to sort it by potency for ease of understanding. So that top button on the right-hand side of your Healy, there's little white lines that go up and down. You click on that, and then you click the right side gray button next to potency and make the arrow blue pointing up. Potency is the number series that guides us about where the information is coming from within their information field. There's a D, a C, and an LM that we'll look at on the next slide. But these are extremely important because the D is often where you see ancestral connections and a deep root that it's inherited. And the person needs to know that if there's an ancestral piece related to why they aren't able to access their goal. The next piece is around intensity, and this number is 1 to 10, and this shows how big of a factor it is. The lowest numbers are 2 to 4. They indicate that it's passing out, which means the person has already been working on it and they're aware of it. The higher number, a 6 to a 9, are what they really need to work on right now and see change in their life in order to experience their focus. A 10, you can edit and pop a 10 in, but it won't give you a 10 unless you edit that in. If something is high on the intensity scale and high on the relevance, it's extremely important to pay attention to. If it's low on the intensity and high on the relevance, it's something that is very important to consider. Even though they're aware of it, they need to make sure to be extra conscious that this is related to why they aren't in alignment with their goal. If it's low intensity and low relevance, it's not going to play as much of a part. The relevance is what's matching highest with the person's energy. So it'll be the most important information to consider. I really believe if you know where it's coming from, that'll help you know where to go with it. And that's why I pay attention to the potency first. So how to understand potency. The D is the cause of why they aren't experiencing the focus. This reveals the root of the matter. And after I read all of the Ds in order from the most superficial to the deepest, I vibrate it for 37 seconds. Then I look at all the Cs. These are the effects, and this shows how things are playing out in their life. And I read these next and then vibrate for 37 seconds. Then I look at the LMs. This is the subconscious information that's holding them back from experiencing their goal. And this would be the limiting beliefs. These show up here. And after reading these, I vibrate the whole session for 2 minutes and 49 seconds. That's how I use potency to determine where the information is coming from in regards to why they aren't experiencing their goal, or if they are experiencing their goal, where it's coming from that's supporting them in that. There is a chart, and you'll want to make sure to print this out and have it handy, because in the beginning, you're going to need this to know where things are coming from. So the other thing I would mention with the roots is the reason I start from the lowest number is that's the easiest to move through. The deeper it is, the harder it is often. And so if something is, a wrong thinking or a wrong lifestyle, life theme, this is something they've had for a while, probably since they were at least 7. So it's something you really want to attend to, and the vibration going right in before you start looking at the causes that are in the way really help you move into the effect piece. But so first comes the cause, because this is the root of where things are stored, and this is how you can address the ancestral pieces. Okay, then once that feels clear, I move on to the C's. Again, lowest number from the onion skin principle. We want to make this easy on people, so we start with what's most superficial because that tends to unlock the next layer. Vibrate for 37 seconds, and then I zoom out here for you to understand. Get to the root of the blockage. It's an important place for clearing energy that's no longer serving them. And then the C's, what's revealed is what they are experiencing or what they need to apply. A lot of times you'll see talents in here. Determine this with the intensity number of how important that is. And then the LMs, this is the deeper things involved. And my goal with these is how can we bring these into the conscious experience so they're no longer subconscious themes. Now at the end, again, I vibrate for 2 minutes and 49 seconds to allow their cells to receive and awaken this new frequency. I encourage them to close their eyes and really receive the vibration. You can also discuss how often you'll be sending these. When you go into your list, you can re-vibrate. And I often, if I'm working with a series of clients, I will stack these in my day and intentionally hold energy for each one of those people for that 2 minutes and 49 seconds to revisit their goal. The other thing under the pink button of actions is you can send the PDF to your curious friends or your clients if you want to share that information with them, which I think is really important. So after the coach analysis, I usually offer 2 more sessions to assist them towards their goal and their general integration in this session. So if the information that we got makes them feel emotional, I usually go right to flower essences. If they need to feel more grounded, I'll go to the gem essences next. If it feels like it's a more physical issue or the person is more on a physical plane with the information, then I tend to use the digital nutrition. That's more translatable for folks that are into nutrition. And the cell salts. Those help to ground in what minerals they need to bring more activation into their body. And all of these I like to run for 5 minutes and 59 seconds for a longer cellular activation. I will also talk to them while I'm doing that. And I will ask questions about the session. So, how does this information feel for you? What landed? What do they want to experience more of? What are their takeaways? I remind them to drink water, to go outside and ground, and to use the affirmations from the PDF that I send them in some kind of expressive integration form. So, art or dance or meditation. I also talk about whether the Healy would feel like a tool for them in their business and how that would amplify the business they already have, or if they're looking to add another stream of income, how the business of Healy works. I often use what showed up in our session to indicate whether or not this device could expand their potential. Because for some people, it's a health piece where they need to be taking more time to nourish themselves. Other people are looking for more money, and so I can talk about that piece. I also will share how I use it in my business and in my life, because a lot of times those things are relevant. And then towards the end of the session, now that we've done the coach and probably 2 additional sessions from the Blue app, I remind them to connect with their original desire for change, that the information that we've talked about is only transformational as it's applied. The frequency of the words optimizes their cells to realign to what they focused on. And really, what else can do that? I use the coach on myself, my team. I mean, they can really access all kind of effects in their business. So I make sure to end our session with their goal. And if they feel like this alignment has helped offer more information about their gifts or how they want to present their gifts, how it can support their health, and how they can reach their next steps. Hope you found this helpful. If you need any more information, just find my link below. Peace.